Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all enjoying the league rotations. I know I am super excited for Great League to come back because I get to use one of my favorite teams that I have used this season, and it is going to be that Shadow Jumpluff on the lead with the two normal types in the back. I made a video on this team already, but it is so good I had to use it again. And not only that, you guys know I dropped a lot of elo in Master League trying a lot of dumb stuff, you know, Roserade. But today, I regained it all in just 2 sets immediately. The first 2 sets that I played with this team, I got 2 5-0s in a row. 10-0 with this team. So today I'm going to go over those battles with you guys, and I'm not going to spend too much time explaining about the team because I already did that in my previous video. So if you want a more in-depth explanation, definitely check that video out. But Dunsparce and Diggersby make such a strong core in the current Great League meta, and Jumpluff does a really good job of taking care of their weaknesses. Now this team is a little bit weak to ice types. You are ABA weak to ice. But most of the ice types, Dunsparce and Diggersby, should be able to handle them. For example, up against an Alolan Sandslash, Diggersby is going to be able to hit for super effective with both Scorching Sands and Fire Punch. And of course, Dunsparce is going to be able to hit for super effective with that Drill Run. Against a pure ice type, Rock Slide and Rollout are going to be doing super effective damage. But it's mainly Dugong that is going to be an issue for this team if it is not aligned to the Dunsparce. Aside from that, Jumpluff is really good against the fighting types that the backline is going to be weak to. It's also going to be good against water types, which Diggersby is also going to be weak to. And your backline can effectively handle the most common Pokemon in the Great League right now, which is that Clodsire. So really solid team. I'm going to stop rambling right now. Let's get into the battles. Alright, in this game we saw one of the worst leads Jumpluff can see. It is going to be a Magcargo. I swapped immediately into my safe swap, which is Dunsparce, and we draw out a Whimsicott, and I decide to double shield my Dunsparce because I realized I was going to be able to take them out before they could reach a third move, and now I can have Diggersby aligned to their Magcargo. Not only that, but Dunsparce came out of that Whimsicott matchup really healthy, so they don't want to bring that Magcargo into a healthy Dunsparce, otherwise I will destroy them. My opponent is forced to bring in their final Pokemon, which is going to be an Oranguru, and they probably thought they could farm us down with the Confusions, but I'm able to reach 3 drill runs up against the Oranguru. They do not want to invest their final shield. They let Oranguru go, and now I am going to be able to align Diggersby to their Magcargo. However, I'm not going to be able to reach 2 Scorching Sands, and they have a shield left. They have to go for 2 overheats to take our Diggersby out, and because they went for those overheats, they debuffed themselves, and now they are not going to be able to take our very bulky Jumpluff out. So we're able to take them out with the Jumpluff, go for an Energy Ball. It does so much damage because it's neutral. Remember, Magcargo is part rock typing, and we take that win. GG's to our opponent. Moving on to the next battle, where for some reason the colors in my game are broken. We see a Clodsire on the lead, and I swap immediately into my Dunsparce. My opponent stays in a little bit, which is really good for me. Now our switch timers are misaligned, and my opponent brings in a Gastrodon. Fun fact about Gastrodon, the Diggersby can actually win against it as long as it doesn't have Water Pulse. Now because our switch timers are misaligned, I'm able to swap into my Jumpluff and align it to their Gastrodon. And surprisingly here, they let the Energy Ball go, we take it out, and they bring that Clodsire back in. I'm thinking my opponent might have something else in the back that is going to be weak to Jumpluff, so I want to save it. I'm going to go for an Energy Ball here. They let it go, and then I catch a Stone Edge on my Diggersby, and their final Pokemon is going to be a Jumpluff. Okay, so good thing I saved my own Jumpluff, but I am going to be able to hit for super effective with the Fire Punches, and 1 Energy Ball is not going to be enough to take our Diggersby out. We survive in the yellow. I'm going to be able to go for another Fire Punch, and we reach another one, but it is on CMP tie. The Jumpluff wins CMP. They go for an Energy Ball, Now I can bring either Dunsparce or Jumpluff into this, but my opponent has 2 shields left. I really need to get them out of the way. I have some energy on Dunsparce, so I am going to be able to reach 2 Rock Slides, get those shields out of the way, and now I should be able to swap into my Jumpluff safely and go for an Aerial Ace. But here, I didn't throw the Aerial Ace immediately because I was really worried my opponent was going to go for a catch. They don't. They throw their Aerial Ace instead. Thankfully, we are able to reach 2. One to take their Jumpluff out, and the second one is going to be enough to take their Clodsire out, and we take that win. On to the next battle, we see another terrible lead. This time it is going to be a Pidgeot Running Gust, and I can't swap my Dunsparce into this because Dunsparce is going to be the harder answer to Pidgeot. So I feel like I should draw out whatever the normal types are going to be weak to with my Diggersby and save the Dunsparce in case I need it later for the Pidgeot. So I bring in my Diggersby and we bring out an Oranguru. Now the Oranguru did not shield my Scorching Sands, so I noticed that I could win switch there. I went ahead and invested 1 shield. Now my Dunsparce is going to be aligned to their Pidgeot, but they are going to get so much energy farming our Diggersby down, so unfortunately I'm going to have to take this energy on Dunsparce. Luckily for me, they go for a Feather Dance on the first move. I'm going to be able to go for a Rock Slide, take a shield from them, and I'm expecting this to be the Brave Bird, so I go ahead and shield. And their final Pokemon is going to be a Charjabug, so I didn't even need shields for my Jumpluff because everything Charjabug is going to throw against Jumpluff is going to be neutral. 2 X-Scissors is not going to be enough to take us out. I'm able to reach another Aerial Ace, take my opponent's final shield, and now I believe we are in X-Scissor range, so it is going to take us out, but we should be able to reach a Rock Slide against this Charjabug, and this next move is not going to be enough to take our healthy Dunsparce out. We go for that Rock Slide, take the Charjabug out, and we're able to roll out the Pidgeot down and take another win there with another terrible lead. Now this next battle was just a really tough matchup for me. Again, another really bad lead of Clodsire. I swap immediately into my Dunsparce, and I love that my opponents so far are staying in with Clodsire and not swapping out immediately because I'm able to go for a Drill Run and weaken them, and then my opponent brings in a Feraligatr. I'm happy that we've drawn this out with Dunsparce and not with Diggersby. I'm going to be able to land a Drill Run on the Feraligatr, get them into the red, and I can come in with Jumpluff and go for a full farm down. I know that my opponent is not going to be able to reach an Ice Beam. This is just going to be a Hydro Cannon. I can let it go, and then I'm expecting my opponent to bring that Clodsire back in. They go for the Stone Edge immediately. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for an Energy Ball. I'm expecting my opponent to shield here, and then I'm going to catch the Stone Edge on my Diggersby. We've been catching so many Stone Edges on Diggersby, and my opponent's final Pokemon is a Mandibuzz. Okay, this is tough. I'm really thinking here, how am I going to win this? I'm going to try to damage it as much as I can with the Diggersbys. The Fire Punches are doing nothing. I'm going to let this next move go, and I have a shield left. I'm going to save it for my Jumpluff. Now when my switch timer comes up, I swap into my Jumpluff and I go for an Aerial Ace against the Mandibuzz. It gets them into the red, but I go for that second Aerial Ace. Unfortunately, my opponent catches it on their Clodsire, but I am going to be able to reach an Energy Ball before they can reach a Stone Edge. We take them out. They bring that Mandibuzz back in, go for an Aerial Ace, and I decide to shield my Jumpluff because I'm at a move. I should be able to take their final shield with the move from Jumpluff, bring Diggersby in, and thankfully my opponent does not make it to a Dark Pulse. An Aerial Ace is not going to be enough to take our Diggersby out. I've reached that Fire Punch. We take the Mandibuzz out with the Fire Punch and take the 5th win in that set. Again, another really tough matchup for me, but we're still able to come out with the win because of how strong the backline is. Moving on to the next battle, we're going to be up against another terrible lead. It is going to be that Clodsire again, and I bring in my Dunsparce, and yet again, my opponent is staying in and letting me go for a drill run before they swap out. Now, they swap out with a lot of energy and bring in a Gastrodon. Okay, I'm going to start damaging it with the drill runs, which are going to be neutral. And I'm not sure if I could have shielded and one switch here, but I'm definitely not going to be able to take the Gastrodon out with the rollouts, so I'm going to let the Earth Power go. And my plan here was to farm them down completely with our Jumpluff, but my opponent swaps out. They give up switch, they bring in Clodsire, and I am going to go for a catch on that Stone Edge. That way I can have some energy on Jumpluff, and I can also waste all of their energy with that catch. And unfortunately, I'm still going to have to take an Earthquake because my Diggersby is going to lose CMP to their Clodsire. I'm going to go for a Scorching Sands, and they actually save that Clodsire. They bring that Gastrodon back in, and I know I can survive a Body Slam, so I let this go. I'm able to take the Gastrodon out with our Diggersby, and my opponent's final Pokemon is going to be a Jumpluff. Okay, I swap into my Jumpluff. This is going to get a little bit tricky because our switch timers are a little bit misaligned. At least I'm able to land an Aerial Ace on their Jumpluff, and I can even go for an Energy Ball on the Clodsire when they bring it back in. We get the defense drop, which means I'm able to Fairy Wind their Clodsire down, have energy for their Jumpluff. We take their final shield. I'm going to be able to go for another Aerial Ace and immediately swap into my Diggersby, which has energy, go for a Fire Punch, and we take another win there. Alright, moving on to the next battle. Finally, we are going to get a good lead. It is a Venusaur. I mean, is this a good lead? Because I'm probably going to end up double shielding the Sludge Bombs from this Venusaur. They are going to be able to get to 2. I go for that first Aerial Ace. They let it go. I go for another one. They go ahead and shield. And I'm going to shield the Sludge Bomb and shield the second Sludge Bomb as well. I should be able to reach another Aerial Ace. And if they reach a third Sludge Bomb, I might try to catch on Diggersby. But they let the next Aerial Ace go. We're able to get the Venusaur out of the way, and then they bring in a Dunsparce. Now I'm going to go for an Energy Ball, and then I'm going to try to catch a Rock Slide on one of my back Pokemon. It doesn't work. They go for a Drill Run up against our Dunsparce, and thank goodness my opponent brings in the Feraligatr for the Dunsparce. I know I can survive one Hydro Cannon here and live in the red, so I should be good here. Go for another Drill Run and take my opponent's final shield. Of course, they're going to go ahead and shield that Feraligatr and go for a full farm down. And now I have to take an Ice Beam on my Jumpluff, and I'm really thinking, how am I going to win this? I have to go for a farm down with my Diggersby against the Feraligatr, and I'm really hoping that a Scorching Sands is going to be enough to take this Dunsparce out, but it's not. They live in the red. And I'm just hoping here that my opponent doesn't reach another move. We're able to quick attack their Dunsparce down, and Diggersby is able to get that win for us. GG's to our opponent. Moving on to the next battle. This is technically a good lead for us because we are going to do super effective damage with our Fairy Winds. And I go for an Aerial Ace. I need to go for 2 Aerial Aces up against this Malamar to take it out. I can take one Foul Play, but another one with the Psywave damage is going to be enough to take our Jumpluff out. They let it go. We're able to take their Malamar out, and then my opponent brings in a Feraligatr. It was a big mistake staying in here with my Jumpluff and letting them farm me down, but at least I'm able to get a shield out of the way, and then I am going to bring in my Dunsparce for this Feraligatr. I can let the first Hydro Cannon go, but I have to shield the second one. But then my opponent catches my Drill Run on a Serperior. At this point, I thought it was game over for me. There was no way I was going to win this. I bring in Diggersby, I go for the Fire Punches and try to damage the Serperior as much as I can. I should be able to reach another Fire Punch and take my opponent's final shield. And I only win this game because my opponent makes a mistake here. I let my Diggersby go here. They go for an Aerial Ace, and then I bring in Dunsparce, and this is where my opponent messes up. They bring in Feraligatr, before taking my final shield. They could have gone for a move from Superior, taken our final shield, and then brought in Feraligatr and gone for a Hydro Cannon. But because they bring Feraligatr in, I'm able to shield the Hydro Cannon, farm them down, and Dunsparce is going to win CMP over Superior. So I had a move ready to go for that Superior. I was able to take them out and take that win. Moving on to the next battle, we're going to be up against another Malamar lead, but this time my opponent goes for a foul play and then swaps out into a Dunsparce. I stay in a little bit and go for an energy ball because I wanted to weaken them, but they go ahead and invest a shield. And because they shielded, I bring Diggersby in because I know that my Dunsparce is not going to be able to win this mirror, especially since they have so much energy on it. So I bring Diggersby in, going to start going for these Scorching Sands to weaken this Dunsparce. And I should be able to reach another one. I can take another Drill Run. We got the attack drop as well, so this Drill Run is going to do a lot less damage. I farm up a little bit extra energy before going for another Scorching Sands. That way I should be able to reach a move on their Malamar before they throw a move. They're not able to farm us down. They're going to have to go for a move. They go for a Superpower. I bring my Jumpluff in and my opponent swaps immediately into a Clodsire. Okay, I still have both shields left, so I'm gonna go ahead and shield the first move from my opponent. They went for a Stone Edge. I think it was an obvious Stone Edge as well, but part of me always worries that I miscounted or something, so I went ahead and shielded the first move. And the next move, they also go for another Stone Edge, and then they bring that Malamar back in, and I can go for an Aerial Ace immediately from my Jumpluff, and I reach an Energy Ball on the Clodsire. Is this going to be enough to take them out? It's not. They live in the red, but I'm still able to reach a Drill Run from my Dunsparce. I even have a shield left, so I'm able to easily take that win. This next battle is extremely close. I'm not even sure I should have won this, but we see a pretty bad lead of Dunsparce. They are going to be able to hit us for super effective with those Rock Slides. So I build up a little bit of energy on Jumpluff, and then I attempt to catch the Rock Slide on one of my back Pokemon, but they keep farming, and I bring in Dunsparce. My opponent brings out a Superior. Okay, at least I'm seeing this here, and it is not going to be aligned to our Diggersby. I'm able to damage it quite a bit, get it into the red with the Rock Slides from Dunsparce, and now I'm going to bring in Jumpluff and go immediately for the Aerial Ace because I know they're one fast move away from an Aerial Ace of their own, and I believe Superior wins CMP over Jumpluff. So I take them out, and then I swap into my Diggersby when my opponent brings that Dunsparce back in, and unfortunately my opponent's final Pokemon is going to be a Feraligatr. Now, for some reason, my opponent lets the Scorching Sands go, and we get them into the red. Now, they're one fast move away from another Hydro Cannon here. I swap into Jumpluff, hoping I could snipe them, but they're not in snipe range, so I'm not sure what I was doing there. But as soon as I swap into Jumpluff, they bring that Dunsparce back in, and I'm going to go ahead and shield here because I know I can reach another move and take my opponent's final shield. Maybe I have a chance to win this. I was really thinking this is game over for me because my opponent is one Shadow Claw away from a Hydro Cannon, but they mess up here. They swap into Feraligatr and they lose a turn because of that swap. I'm able to go for 2 quick attacks and take Feraligatr down before they reach that Hydro Cannon, and then I'm even able to reach a move on their Dunsparce, take them out, and get that 5th win that we need for another 5-0 with this team, and we managed to climb 140 points in just 2 sets. So guys, I can highly recommend this team if you want to use it. That Jumpluff is very strong, but if you don't have it, there are some replacements you can use in place of Jumpluff, like Whimsicott. You can probably use another Fairy type as well, or maybe a Tropius, maybe a Superior. So there are some replacements, but that Jumpluff is just way too strong. And that is going to bring us to the end of our video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, maybe leave a like. It helps me out so much. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.